One of the new features in CX 8.6 is time of day routing for automated attendance built into the system. Prior to CX 8.6, you would have to use a program or an add-in called ScheduleXpress. Now, ScheduleXpress was called from a call processor mailbox using ESP, which is a feature, of course, that uses a subscriber mailbox to then trigger a call processor mailbox and then access the schedule. So what we're going to show on this video is how to convert your ScheduleXpress setup over to the new routing in CX 8.6. Now, in your CX server, every one of the call servers, under the CX directory, you will have an SX folder that has the license to run ScheduleXpress, and it has a file called sx.csv. Now, that is a CSV file, essentially a comma delimited spreadsheet, if you will, that is the actual schedule. That's about all you need to be able to convert to the new 8.6 setup. To make this easier, I've actually copied it to my desktop because you're not allowed to have Microsoft Office running on your CX systems. So what we have here is my sx.csv, and this is my schedule. Now, I only have 2 entries on this, so if you have a much larger ScheduleXpress implementation, you're going to have a lot of work ahead of you to convert this. That's the bad news. The good news is that ScheduleXpress is supported in CX 8.6, so when you do your upgrade, if you're doing an upgrade, the system will work perfectly fine as it is or as it was upgraded, and you can convert your automated attendance one by one with the system running and answering calls. So it's not something that when you do your upgrade you're going to have to spend all night converting all your automated attendants. You can do them over a span of time, and it will be, of course, transparent to the callers. Now, so for this example, I really only have 2. I have one for sales and I have one for the help desk. 2002 is the directory number that's being forwarded into the CX system, and it's using ESP to route. 2003 is for sales, and they are sending back out to the system 83002, 83012, and basically the 8 is used as a steering digit typically in an SX implementation. So 3002, 3012, those are all the call processors we're going to use to route our calls. So these are already in the system. All we have to do now is plug in this schedule using one schedule mailbox for every one of these automated attendants. Okay, so let's get started here. Let me increase this so we can see better. And what I'm going to do is create a schedule mailbox for each one of my automated attendants that can be found over here in my sx.csv. So I have a help desk and I have sales, and I want to keep the numbering convention that I've used for my schedule mailboxes. You do not want to renumber or create a schedule mailbox with the directory number. You're going to put that directory number. First off, it'll be a conflict. You cannot create a mailbox 2002 as long as there's already a mailbox 2002 routing calls already, a subscriber mailbox. So you also, if you do that, have the same number as the directory number, what's eventually going to happen is if you have to change that for any reason, you're going to have to do a lot of moving around to renumber mailboxes. So it's better to keep your utility mailboxes like schedules and call processors a number that an outside caller probably wouldn't use, and keep your directory numbers that are coming into the system unique. So we need 2 of these. I'm just going to add, right click, add, schedule mailbox, and I'll start with my help desk. 0502. Help desk. If I wanted to allow the ability to log in to override this over the telephone, I could put in a security code here, pick a language pack if I want a different language for this, and then of course some notes. So we have the weekly schedule. So this is where we're going to start. Now, my weekly schedule for the help desk is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. So the easiest way to do this, since this is pretty much a blank slate, is to start off with night. So you basically find your night menu and then hold down the mouse and then drag that to the entire schedule. Now everything is at night. We can go back and do our days. So we can select 8 a.m. day menu, drag it. So Monday through Friday, 8 to 8 is now the day. And that's pretty much all we had to do. Now, one of the really nice features about 8.6 is it has schedule overrides. Now, it can have these per schedule mailbox, but it can also have them per system. So what I've done, I have holidays for my company already set up in the system override so that I can use them for my regular automated attendant. These are all now available to any schedule mailbox that I now set up. So I have all the holidays ready here. All I have to do is set up the mailbox to answer the calls during this holiday. Independence Day, 8 a.m. Night menu. New Year's Day. And Thanksgiving. And since many companies have the day after Thanksgiving as a holiday as well, notice I can just add an additional day onto the schedule rather than having to create a separate date just for this. So that's all we needed to do to make this work. Simply press OK. That schedule's complete. So let's create one now for our sales department. Sales, and then we have our schedule. Our schedule is 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. So let's, like we did before, let's start with night. Drag through the whole schedule, and then go back and put in the day. And just simply drag it and let go. So the schedule now for this automated attendant is done. Run over to the holidays and do the holidays. Now this looks like a lot of work, and really what it's come down to as I've been working with it is roughly 3 minutes per automated attendant. That's probably a good benchmark for how long it's going to take you to do each automated attendant in your ScheduleXpress schedule. Keep in mind, however, like I said earlier, this can be done during the day while the system's running. It doesn't, you can cut them over one by one too. It's not an all-in-one project where you have to do everything all in one night to make sure that it's done and upgraded. The ScheduleXpress works with 8.6. You just simply convert them when you have the time to convert them. So we have our two schedules. That was the hard part of this. Now all we have to do is go back and do the routing part. So you could have made all these schedules in advance, and then when you decided to cut them over one by one, move them over to the call routing table. So first thing to do is take these mailboxes and delete them. And then under Configuration System, Call Routing, we just simply add our entries. So it's going to be a Phantom extension. This is an extension that is forwarded all the time to the CX system. 2002 is our help desk. All locations. I have multiple PBXs here. This is why you see the different locations. And I come down here and pick my brand new schedule. Allow subscriber login. This is a Phantom extension. It doesn't have a phone. Doesn't need to have the ability to log in from calling that number from the phone. The phone doesn't exist. So add all locations. Put in my sales schedules. And then we're done. That's all it took to do to convert from your ScheduleXpress schedule over to the new 8.6 call routing. The only thing left to do now is to perform a few tests to make sure all works as expected.
To learn more about AVST, please visit www.avst.com.